من ربك ربي الله ما دينك ديني الإسلام.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Deen Matters Family Edition. Now, if you've been tuning in with us, you'll know that we've been focusing on things that are destroying families, gaps. There's in the last few episodes. Now, Dr. Slimi, one big issue, especially in the 21st century, technology.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Technology indeed has caused this gap to become bigger. Certainly, today we see it. Technology has helped us, has made many things easy, even created jobs and this. But if it's not controlled, it controls. If it's not controlled by the children, by the parents, it controls the family. And honestly, technology has even replaced family bonds. A typical example, dinner is ready and the mother would call children and they're in technology. As soon as they eat, they go. And sometimes over dinner, they're using it. We see this in restaurants, we see it in family gatherings. This is the reality. That's the picture we've seen on the front pages. This is how family looks these days. Nobody's talking, no discussion. Everybody has created their own world and they are living a second life, a different life. People hiding different fake usernames, being mean, being abusive, and nobody sharing anymore. Back in the days, as you know, family, when we were children, when we see our grandfather or grandmother, that was like a big thing for us. When a grandfather visits or we go visit grandfather or grandmother, they're going to tell us stories. They're going to tell us about the past. They're going to tell us about their experience. They're going to tell us about things. We were so excited. Believe me, we would leave a movie and just listen to our grandparents. I remember when I was a child, we would go to our grandfather and the cousins and everybody and sit down, the smell of food. And that's like late 70s, early 80s. We were children or teenagers later in the 80s. And just the smell of food and the food that takes hours to cook. It was one meal, for instance, we share and joy, just seeing our cousins, listening to each other. Where are those things? People don't even stand each other. The guests come home and the children don't want to see the guests and you feel embarrassed. This is a fact. A social isolation. Technology has damaged the bonds of family and also the human bonds. And of course, they have replaced, relationships between human beings.
Dr. Slimi, can you highlight anything particular about technology? There's no one size fits all. I mean, the knee-jerk reaction could be just take away the phones, just take it away. And for some, that's not going to be the case.
This is where we need to strike the balance. Technology is a tool, but it's not a life. A life is you and I sitting, talking, versus taking technology and making it your life. And we talk about tablets, phones, whatever technology, computers. It has become a lifestyle. I mean, explain this to me. You go in the street now and everybody crossing the road on the phones. The children, what are you, even if you were to write a book, you wouldn't be all the time. What are you texting, talking about what? Oh, and the texts, if you look at the content, and I'm not criticizing here, I'm saying this because this is our reality now. Oh, I'm okay, I'm fine, what are you going to have for dinner? Oh, you saw what they said last time? Oh, so they replace talking and exchanging ideas with commenting. So you're basically commenting on someone. Oh, I'm here, I'm just by the stop. Oh, there are 3 people standing here. Oh, they're looking at me, they look weird. Well, one of them is funny. And I mean, there were studies analyzing what goes on texts. And husbands and wives too, they start getting into text with their friends and it's affecting their marriage. What did he tell you? What did she tell you? Why are you talking to a woman? Why are you talking to a man? See, and then there is more, because of the show, there is a common word for that. People have got into the excitement. Let's talk about the forbidden, because the forbidden is desire. And next step, internet has, I always say that, has opened the gates of hellfire on earth. So technology is destroying us. Now with AI is going to get, God be with us, may Allah be with us. AI might be the beginning of our destruction if we don't use it wisely. Now the word wisely means wisdom. And wisdom, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and he gave us this, al-hikmatu dallatul mu'min. أينما وجدها فهو أحق بها. Wisdom should be the lost treasure of the believer. Wherever he or she finds it, should take it. Today, wisdom is needed. What is wisdom? Is to balance. How can I make technology a tool, not my life?
Dr. Slimi, what advice would you say to youth who are constantly on their phones? The parents, I'm sure, you've tried, you've said it a million times. You're trying to prevent future problems, disasters, and it's in one ear, out the other until you find out for yourself. Any advice that you would have for our youth who are constantly using their phone as their world?
There's nothing better than personal experience. I personally started using internet in 1994. My first website I made, I went to computer science, as you know, in the States, and the first website I built was in 1995. So internet was a big thing. So we would go to the computer lab, we used to call it, at the university, and then we would browse and search. It was, Alta Vista, Yahoo, then Google came later, and then Netscape. So we used to use internet, but we found it as like it was part of the library. And then it was personalized when the smartphone came in. I mean, internet with the computer, then smartphone. And we evolved with it, so somehow we had chance to balance and use it wisely. I prefer talking to you than browsing the internet, because I have another human being who would give me something that I would appreciate. Not only knowledge, but also this spiritual connection. But our children, many of them were born after the smartphone was invented or came in our lives. So everything was technology. What I would say, believe us, we lived a life without internet. And believe me, it was beautiful. And if I were to choose between internet life and no internet, I would say the best time was the 90s. Internet was like a resource for us for knowledge. So use it. Use it for knowledge. Use it as a reference for research. Now we have, of course, ChatGPT, and we have AI platforms. It's gonna even get worse. So use that for your knowledge, for seeking knowledge. It's a blessing to have this, but the blessing itself can be a curse. Don't let it use you, because they're using your algorithms and all of this to sell you products. So use it and don't let it use you. Maybe that sounds very simplistic, but if I were to, adjust and tweak things, I would say the mid-90s to the 2000s were the best. We had access to information, but we didn't have internet, taking it to our beds to sleep, check in, internet, email, people calling you. I think we need to strike balance, and unfortunately, it's too much.
For any youth who are watching, use the technology, but don't let the technology use you. Truly grateful for that reminder. Thank you so much for tuning in. Deen Matters Family Edition. Hit the subscribe button and drop your comments down below. And until next time, Assalamu alaikum.